Hey up everybody, Betty's back. First one back since our holidays. Boo, we're back now. Right, so obviously we've been to Portugal. So whilst I was there, I tried this Portuguese stuffed bread. There's many variations of it, but this one had chorizo and cheese in it, and that's the one I will be doing. So I'll show you the ingredients and we'll get cracking on with it. It's not difficult at all, it's really easy, as per usual. So I'll show you the ingredients, so let's get on with it. Right, so to make life easier, I've just gone and bought some pizza dough. Rather than, you can make your own pizza dough if you want to, but this is just for convenience. Perfect. You're going to need some extra virgin olive oil, some grated mozzarella. I've got a spicy chorizo here. I mean, obviously, traditionally, it'll say to use Portuguese chorizo, but that was quite piquant anyway, so when I had it, so it's very similar. And 2 cloves of garlic there, which are going to be minced. That is it. Simple, but I'll tell you what, when I tried it, it was from a supermarket, but it was really, really nice, really tasty. And I've been looking up, and there's many, many variations of this. You can add to bits and bobs what you want. But this is just like the basic one. So anyway, we'll get cracking. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is sort this chorizo out. So obviously you get this and you get a bit of string. You just need to nip that off, basically. Just nip that off. There we go. That's that removed. So I'm going to split it in half. We are going to use all of this. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the skin, because this needs to be cooked first. So I'm just running my knife down the edge like so. And let's just see if it's going to play ball and we can get it off. It might be a little bit fiddly. And you know me, I don't do fiddly well at all. So I'm just going to try and get some of this. There we go, it's starting to come off there, look. Well, you can't see, but there we go. It's starting to come off. It's starting to come off, look. So I'll just show me doing one half and how I'm going to cut it. Yeah, it can be a bit fiddly. So I'm just going to remove all of this skin. One second, just let me get a smaller knife. Have we got a smaller knife anywhere that I can use? Just to try and get this skin off. Never comes off all in one piece, does it? Of course not. Yeah, so I'm still, so you can probably, I'm sniffing and I'm still a bit full of it. Not as bad as what I was when I was first there, but I have still got a bit of a cough and a bit of a sniffle. But I feel better than what I did while I was out there as such. But then again, when you're in the sun and you're relaxing, it doesn't really matter. It always makes you feel better anyway. Well, this is taking longer than anticipated, but I'll just keep plodding on because I want to show you how I'm going to dice this up. It's been a pain in the posterior, shall we say. I'll tell you what, I'll pause you for a second because we're going to be here forever otherwise. Right, you know what it is? That's a right royal pain in the backside to do. So if you want to leave the skin on, I'd leave it on. I've got as much off as I can. And all I'm going to do is to dice this up into chunks about this big. So like pound coin thickness or so, maybe it's a bit thicker, and then cut each one of those into quarters. So you've got little chunks of chorizo, like so. You're looking for that sort of sized chunks. So I'm going to carry on doing this, and I'll come back to you when they're all done. But life's too short to skin all them to get it all off. Unbelievable. Right, so we're just looking for like that amount, those sized pieces. So we'll move on to the next bit. We're going to fry these babies off. Okay, so I'm just using a saucepan here, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in the bottom of the pan. I'm using a saucepan, use a frying pan, whatever you wish. And we're just going to fry these off for about 3-5 minutes, just to try and get some colour on there and release some of the lovely chorizo fat. So I'm going to need a spoon or some sort of, I'll have to use this spatula because I can't find anything else at the minute. Well, those of you, because half of the stuff now is in our brand new tabletop dishwasher, which we've just purchased and set up today. Somebody mentioned it on holiday. We had one and we loved the fact that it was there. So we've got a tabletop one. It goes on top of the bench. So half of the stuff is in there now. We're going to wait till a full load before we use it. But we thought, why not? So I'm going to fry those off 3 to 5 minutes and I'll come back to you. Okay, so that's had a few minutes now. So now I'm going to add the 2 cloves of garlic, which I'm just going to crush into here. And you're just going to add that, stir it around only for about a minute. You get the instant waft of the garlic there, which is nice. Doesn't need long, but you certainly don't want to burn the garlic because it'll, like you know, it'll give it a bitter taste. Wow, that smells lovely. Just keeping that stirring round. Alright, I think that's going to do. I'm going to turn the heat off that, and I'm just going to drain these onto some kitchen roll now. Be back in a second. Right, so on to the next bit. So I've just floured my surface a little bit with some plain flour because this dough is very sticky. I'm just getting it out of the packet now and I can see how sticky it is. Just bear with me a second while I get it out. So this dish is very, very similar to a stromboli, which I've made before. But I just love the flavour of this. It was lovely. Really, really nice. Just leaving a bit in the packet there. Waste not, want not. Right, so basically you wanted to try and make a rectangle out of this. So if you can start off with a roughly rectangle shape, I generally find that it's easier to roll if you do that to start off with. Yeah, there's a lot of flour there, but I can dust the excess off. So I'm trying to make that, I'm just trying to just mould it a little bit with my hands first. So with this pizza dough, as you know, it rolls back. Does it not? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So I'm going to keep working on this. Like I said, there is a little bit of excess flour there. But hey. Alright, so I'm going to keep working on this until I get it to the shape I desire. So it's got slightly thicker at this end than this end, because this is where the filling's going to go. So there is my chorizo. So we're going to scatter this evenly over this half, like so. That's the chorizo and garlic. Make sure that's all in. Spread it evenly about. Oh, I've just lost one there. Never mind. It is what it is. So, yes, it looks a bit rustic, but it's fine. So we want about 225 grams of grated mozzarella cheese now, which is virtually this whole packet. So it's going to be easy, we'll see. Oh, where's the scissors? Right, let's get this packet open. So again, it's really, really simple, this. Obviously, the more cheese you put on, the easier it will be. I reckon we're about there now. So basically now, okay, I'm going to roll it from this end towards me. So let me just get this a little bit further across this way. And we'll start to roll this baby up. Like so. Any bits that come out, you can just stick back in. I'm going to tuck the end in a little bit there, because that was starting to come out of there. Doesn't have to look perfect. And you just keep rolling that like so until we get the desired effect. So you want something, like I say, it resembles very much so like the stromboli that I made earlier on, quite a while ago now actually. So that's that bit done. I'm going to get there. I'm going to do this in the kasori. So all I need is to brush the base of the kasori and a little bit of olive oil on top of here. So I'll bring you over to the kasori in a second. So I've got this into the kasori. I've lightly brushed the bottom with some olive oil, and I'm going to do the same all over the top of our Portuguese chorizo bread. Just so it goes nice and golden. Right, so you want this at around, I'm using the air fry, so you want it around 220, but on the air fry about 200 for 15 to 20 minutes. So what I'll do is, I'll just do it for 15 and see where we are from there. So, bake. $200, and I'm going to do it for 15 minutes and see where we are from there. If it needs another 5 minutes, then it needs another 5 minutes, just to err on the side of caution. So we'll be back in a second, guys. Let's see what it's looking like. Right, so I gave it the 15 minutes and it was still a bit not properly cooked on the bottom, so I flipped it over, give it another 5 minutes on the bottom. As you can see, that's nicely cooked now on the bottom as well. So I'm going to give that 5 minutes just to cool down, because it'll be molten hot, and then we'll cut it up and have a taste test. So it's had a few minutes just to calm down. So there we go. I'm just going to cut it straight down the middle. Let's see what we've got. Oh, look at that. Wowzers. Wow. That looks absolutely delicious. Look at that. Right, so I'm going to cut myself a slice off and it'll be taste testing time. Hey guys, let's dig in. Just going to show you that look. Whoa. Mozzarella's oozed straight into the bread. So let's have a go at this. It's going to still be warm, but hey. Wow. Obviously that's not as nice as the one we had in Portugal because it was a bit more authentic with the chorizo. But look at that. There's a cheese pull. Oh. Very simple, but absolutely delicious. Sorry, excuse me. I've got some aioli here just to dip it in. Just going to try it with a bit of that. Let's just see. That just elevates it even more. Delicious. Obviously you can eat that while it's warm. You can also slice it off when it's cold, which is probably what we'll do later, and just use it as a little snack. Obviously it's not a main meal or anything, but it's a little snack. But that, look at the cheese in that. Yummy. Right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. That's definitely worth a go. Very simple, like I say, by the pizza dough. It cuts a lot of your work out, and that's just as good as making homemade. It's a lot quicker, but just the chorizo, mozzarella, olive oil, garlic, and that's it. You're done. So, like I said, thanks very much for watching. Keep all your lovely comments coming. All your recipe ideas as well. Keep them coming as well, because we're coming up to winter time soon. We're in autumn now. So we'll be going back to some more tasty recipes, stews, etc, etc. So I'll leave you guys there, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later. Bye.